Alright, I'm starting the messages of the day. I haven't went to sleep yet. I've done a lot of videos. But this is why I'm wearing the same shirt, because it's the same work day. I've just done that many videos today. But your messages of the day, I'm pulling out some cards here. Alright. We got Two of Swords and Five of Pentacles. And we got achievements. Alright. There's somebody in your energy that has been doing you wrong. They have involved some of you, a third party. Some of you, they just left you abandoned. And it's judgment time. Let's just put that way. It's judgment time from God. Alright, and you are in a Two of Swords. You're in this stalemate. Okay? And then this Five of Pentacles, they're heading towards poverty because judgment time is here. And then we got achievements. And this talks about increasing. Oh, hang on. It's projects with your partner, love blossoming. Alright, love was blossoming. And then I should move this here. And you went to the Two of Swords, and they wanted poverty for you. This is what they wanted through judgment. Your love was blooming and increasing here. That's what the card says. Leverage and learning more about finances. And your love was blooming. And they tried to take your money and stuff. And then they wanted you to head towards poverty, but they are. So I guess the joke's on them, right, collective? Alright. Let's get into what was going on. I have a lot of decks. I went shopping and got so many decks it was crazy, but let me shuffle this and see what's going on here. We got two. Alright. This is what they gave you and what they're getting. Lack of support. Okay. See, they gave you lack of support, now they're getting lack of support. That's how I like to take these cards. And then we got Dreamweaver. Dreaming and imagining, being your powerful, bring your powerful vision into reality. You were being called to do that at this time. Because the divine has you. And these are real life issues. I'm just shuffling these in my lap since I have a small work table over here. Alright, we got a secret affair on the table. They were having a secret affair. This is why they didn't want to help you with your finances. This is exactly the reason they didn't want to help you with your finances for some of you. Some of you, that it's other stuff. This is a collective reading with your messages of the day. And they're getting karma. They really are. They are getting karma at this hour. And I'm being told to tell you they're getting karma at this hour. Alright, then we have dirty laundry. Their dirty laundry is now being spilled. Dirty laundry for stuff they've done. They've done a lot of stuff to a lot of people. They lied, they hid stuff, and they wanted it, and they thought their laundry didn't stink. Their lies were reality, but they really were not reality, their lies. None of them. Their reality was lies. I mean, the stuff they projected onto you came to them. Now there's spilled tea. This energy is so damn thick. And a lot of this stuff, I want to say goes return back to sender. And I want to say dark magic could be what are spells, guys? Spells are just things that you speak of bad. You could speak bad of somebody from your mouth. And the thing is, you speak something bad about somebody, that's dark magic. That is, because you're putting energy out there for someone else. So I guess you could say all this is dark magic, just in one sort or another. You either paid to have somebody speak it in a spiritual sense and do ceremonies, or you just gossiped a lot. And then we got jealousy on the table. Some of these guys were jealous of you and they did the most. They did a lot. These guys, these people in your life, they have judgment on the table. That's what they did. And for some of you, I'm getting that these people, some was family, some was friends. And you really didn't do anything except for just live your life. And when you lived your life, they were unhappy within themselves. And then we got burning bridges. Some of these guys burnt bridges with you guys. For what reason? They were jealous. They were on, I like to say, on demon time. Jealousy, they say it's not a big deal to be jealous. Everybody's jealous a little bit, but that's not true. It is not true to be jealous. It is not true. Being jealousy is a form of devilish things. And they gave excuses to why it was okay to speak ill on your name, to do things. And for some of you, it was a third party. For some of you, it was just as much as abandoning you, possibly taking money from you guys. There's been theft in the thing, you know, and everything, and then this one came up in reverse, withholding support. For those that was withholding and got people to not support you, this is what's happening to them at this time of judgment. Yeah, this is what's happening to them. So, you gotta put it where it fits. So, in your time of need, God is always on your side. When God is not on your side and you deny his help, I think of God as a him, but, you know. And they ignored your achievements. You know, you could have been doing some big things out here. Maybe some of you guys were content creators. I don't know. You could have been. You can be. I mean, who knows? Alright. These people had you afraid to leave, but this came in opposite also. No, they're afraid to leave whatever situation they have. They're in fear. They're in fear that they're not going to be able to move forward. But that's what they wanted for you. They wanted you not to be able to move forward. So, it makes sense. You know, they wanted it, everybody wants everyone to be afraid to do stuff. Why be afraid to go to the future and better yourself? Because it only makes yourself better. Maybe, and I'm getting from the divine, because I get messages from the divine, so I don't really read for people that aren't of the divine. I mean, let's make this point clear here, because I'm not from that dark side. Alright, third party is. I keep talking about some of you guys that there's a third party. Alright, there's a third party involved with some of these guys, and I guess it's okay. It's not okay to have a third party. It's okay to leave somebody, but completely leave the first person and be mindful that that's what you want to do and how you want to move. Because if that's not how you want to move, the thing is if you go to get a third, why have a third party if you just say, I don't want to be with you, and then you just go be with the other person and be with them? whatever commitments they have with you, tie it up. Say, if you guys are in a rental agreement, or whatever, say, I'm going to go ahead and get all this done. I'm going to pay everything and I'm going to go. And that's it. And then we got criticizing appearance. Of course they did. Because who's the easiest target? It's the divine people. It's the people of the light. They want to sit there and say you're ugly, you're stupid, they want to say all these words that are awful about you. And where did it get them at the end of the day? I guess. But I'm being called to tell you guys some of you guys have kids. And there was children involved with all this third party mishaps also. And ignoring your goals. They wanted you to ignore your goals. These are just things I'm picking up, I'm telling you, and I'm just shuffling, and the divine's telling me these are things that, for the people that listen to me, that are divine beings and follow God, this is what's been happening. And if you resonate with any of this, then this could be your daily message. I don't know. I'm going to start calling this daily messages, because this literally is just a daily message. But for those of you that have kids and they left you with the bag and don't want to see the kids, there's karma to pay for that too. And they were in their ego, battle of egos. Yeah, that's what they was doing. They were just all in their ego. They really were, guys. They were in their ego. I'm gonna get some more cards out for you guys for the divine audience here, because I generally don't read for people that, I mean, the divine, I read with the who the divine wants me to read for, and it's not. I don't read for the dark community. I'm not a dark practitioner. This is, I deal with source and source only. So if you deal with dark arts, I am not your channel. I am not your channel, I promise you. I promise you I am not your channel. So, that's it. I'm getting the beloved dead cards out, because they have a lot of insights of the kind of people that you're dealing with, okay? Alright, tell us what the divine is dealing with their spiritual warfare. Because this is spiritual warfare, guys. As much as you think it isn't, and I didn't think it was when my breakup, but it really is. When you're doubting your faith, when you're doubting your life, when you're crying about the electric bill because nobody's there to help you, when you're at your last leg and somebody's telling you that they don't give a damn, they won't talk to you, and they literally kick you when you're down. Or let's say for me, my dad died. My dad literally sat and died, and I was at my lowest point because both of my parents are dead, guys. And that's when my divine counterpart decided to leave me, right when my dad died. And thank God I can see the dead, because I seen my dad. And my dad is the one that got me out of the Ten of Swords. I was alone. Yes, I guess here on the 3D, but I was never alone. I always had my parents. Even though both of my parents are dead, I seen them. And they helped me, and they still help me. Alright, we got ancestry. Alright, I don't know if you see this. Ancestry. Your ancestors are with you like they are with me. They are. Your ancestors are here with you at this hour. For those of you that think you're alone, your ancestors are behind you. They're right with you. They're everywhere around you. They are. And the divine wants me to tell that, and to somebody, that their mom There's somebody's their mom and name, and their mom, so that recently passed, is with you, and it's something about thunderstorms. When you see it's somebody here that their mom liked thunderstorms, and if you had somebody that passed that used to love thunderstorms, your mom is there, and even though you can't see her, every thunderstorm that passes, she always is there with you and watching the thunderstorm with you. I don't know if this is for someone it resonates with, and for someone else, there was a beloved grandparent that passed, and with this grandparent, the thing was, he was kind of like everybody was against them, but this grandparent, honestly, he is there with you, and it's not so much thunderstorms. He's just trying to look over the ones in the family that need him the most. So, and this is directed to somebody in my. I'm a small channel, but this is somebody in my ear itches me. I don't know. I know that means something, but I don't know what it means. I'm not privy to I would have to look it up on Google, but it's every Sunday when he used to love church. It's something about Sundays. Sundays that made him happy being around family. This grandparent or grandfather, he's there every Sunday to make sure everybody's good on the day of the Lord, because that was his day of stepping out. That's what I'm getting. That was his day of stepping out. That's just a message for somebody. All right. And you're being called to be sovereign, to be a sovereign being right here. Be sovereign. And it's more than just discernment. When you're sovereign, it means nothing can touch you. You have completely. When you're sovereign being, you're in control of all your thoughts. All of your thoughts. And nobody, nothing, no weapon that has been formed, that can be formed, will go against you if you're a sovereign being. So all the divine people are being called at this hour to be sovereign. And if you have to, I did it with Carl Jung because I don't really have a lot of support just from my ancestors. And I identify with psychology, so I did Carl Jung. And it took me about 6 months to a year to become sovereign because I'm an empath. And I had to completely go through I had to go through integration. I had to take my shadow self, be friends with it, and be able to weaponize my own shadow self to help me and make better decisions and control my shadow self. That's why I don't envy anybody. That's why I don't feel jealousy, because I'm a sovereign being. And it really is a blessing from God to not be hurt by anything what anybody says. If somebody walks out the door when you're completely in your sovereign being, it'll hurt a minute, but you'll get over it quicker. And my ancestors helped me. And then we got promise. There's a promise that somebody's ancestor made that they'd always watch over them. And this promise was made over coffee, sometimes donuts. And they're delivering that promise. They are. Every day they're delivering that promise when you're drinking your coffee and thinking about them. That's a message for somebody. I don't know who. I hope it helps. Sometimes in life, that's how it is. But the dead are always there. Your ancestors are always there. Just because you're not in this body does not mean they're not there. I mean, I'm just grateful that I'm not, even though I'm technically, I guess, orphaned because both of my parents have passed, I could see them. And maybe that's why I was gifted with the gift of sight, because if it wasn't for my parents, I would be lost. And if I couldn't see them and hear them, I wouldn't be a sovereign being. I wouldn't be delivering this message to you today. I promise you, if it wasn't for my ancestors, because my ancestors are what brought me back to life in a sense. Because I was dead inside after my dad's death, and having my lover of 10 years realize he's a full narcissist. Was a full narcissist, folks, and my dad helped me through every bit of it. The gaslighting towards the end and everything. So, there always is. And it says, act of love, self preservation. Somebody's ancestor, this is a female, I want to say more like of a sister, they're telling you to preserve yourself and to put yourself first, because you cannot heal other people and be there for other people if you yourself are not healed. That's a message for somebody. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. I mean, these are the messages I get because I'm a medium. I am a psychic medium, guys. That's all I am. I'm that, and I could do cards and other stuff, but I am a whole psychic medium. And the thing is, yeah, the devil might have a hold on this earth, but the devil does not have a hold on our heart. And the devil wants you to forget about your heart. I want you to forget about. They want to do all these things to break you down. And when I say break you down, the devil wants to break you down by separating you, making you sad, and putting you through a lot. And then we got perception. All right, somebody's ancestor over here with this perception card. I'm picking up a guy in he's telling me he's like, I don't know, in his 30s or 40s or something. I think he died of gang activity or some kind. No, he says he was shot. Okay, he was shot. I'm sorry, not gang activity. He was shot. He was telling you to change your perception of the whole situation so you can move forward to somebody. If you're connected to someone died in their 30s or 40s or something. Oh, he said he died at 35. I'm sorry. He died at 35. I'm half tired. I just woke up from a nap, guys. But he is telling me that when he died, that he said that, yeah, he was shot, but he is still able to look after you and the family. And he's there and he wants you to move on and have obviously be a sovereign. I say you try to be a sovereign being before you move on, but go into sovereignty, especially discernment. Discernment's the biggest thing, but I mean, if you can go from discernment to sovereignty, and he wants you to find somebody and be happy because he doesn't want to see you alone. He doesn't want to see you alone. That's for somebody, don't know who. I guess whoever is the viewer, whoever. Alright, we're just gonna go with. Alright, the dead people today are just. I'm sorry. The beloved deceased. The beloved dead are taking over the reading to give their messages, and that's okay. That's okay. They're giving messages today. Alright, we got location. Alright, there's something about someone's location. They say it's not safe for you to be there. Okay. See where it says location. And he's hiding under there. Alright. There's something about somebody's location. And this is grandpa that's coming through for somebody that said that wherever you're living at, there's bad people around you. If you had a grandpa that died recently, something about it's an apartment complex or something. He's saying that in your apartment complex, there's some dangerous people. And he knows that you try to avoid them and you've been there for a while, but you may have to try to move soon. He says to start saving your money and move. He's watching over you. He makes sure that death doesn't fall upon your house, but he wants you out. Said it's not so much good of a neighborhood. It's not so much good of a neighborhood wherever you're at. But he's there for you. So I'm being told that at this hour. Alright, now we got I'm just going to. Or what the heck is this? Haunted. Okay. Haunted. Alright. Now I'm picking up. There's a person out there with this haunted. Your ancestor, which is a father. Or, yeah, it's your father. He knows that you feel haunted because of his passing. It's the way he died. And he knows that you weren't able to see him and get to him in time, but it was his time. Your father is telling me that it was his time. He was at peace and he was not alone. He had the angels there. And the angels were all around him. So your father at this time wants me to tell you that it's okay. He wants you to move on. He wants you to be happy. He wants you to enjoy your life because he will be back in the next life. Maybe as your father again, I don't know. Or sometimes when you're reincarnated, sometimes they come through different generations. Maybe the next life he may be your brother or something. I don't know. This is the way reincarnation works, guys. But that is the way it works. I'm being told by the dead, and then I got more messages from the dead for you. Alright. I feel that I haven't done this for a while, and maybe I should. Alright, then we have driver. Here, driver. Here's somebody that, a beloved dead person of your guys, I'm channeling this person. They died in a car accident. Yes, it was before their time, and it wasn't spiritual warfare. It was more of a victim of circumstance. But they're there with you, and they want you to move on. They want you to move on and enjoy your life because the car accident was a tragedy, but they're going to see you in the next life and they're watching over you. They're watching over you now. So if you had somebody that was in a car accident, guys, this is your beloved dead. Okay. Alright. Let's do more beloved dead. There's a lot of beloved dead messages. I speak more to the dead than I do the living, guys. Because the dead are more honest. Because why? They went through a soul review. When you die, there's a soul review. Even though you might in this lifetime do a lot of nasty things. Let's say you did the most, you kind of did a Hitler in this life. I don't know if anybody could do it up like Hitler from the darkness, but you did a lot of dark shit, okay? And then you go and then you end up dying, and God does a review. Then like, yeah, you kind of this person went to jail because of you, and yada yada yada. Let's say it was somebody of like a politician or something, and they had a lot of shady deals. They got away with a lot of stuff, and a lot of people fell that would before their time. God watches, and that soul review is not going to be good for them. No. Whatever you wouldn't want to be like when you die, there's a soul review. They review your soul, they show your whole life in front of you. And you feel, and a part of when you die is you feel the pain of everything you've done in your entire life in front of you. All right, let's say that you did a crime of passion. Somebody was really mean to you, and you killed another person. Okay, let's say it was this person did bad, but you still killed someone. In that soul review, they're gonna say you didn't heal from the death, and if you respond in a negative way after it's one thing self-defense. Self-defense is, if it cannot be helped, is one thing. If it's anything above self-defense in that soul review, you're judged. And when I say you're judged, you're judged. I mean, and you're judged in spiritual court, and there's nothing you could do to get out of a soul review. Nothing. And it chooses if you and all hell is, guys, is it's a repetition of you learning your lesson. Let's say that you have a bad temper in this lifetime, and when something bad happens, instead of healing everyone around you and taking the path of the light, you always take the path of the dark. You're doomed to feel the same pain that you've caused others in death. That's it. And it depends on what pain you gave them. If it was just like pain of heartache, that's not, I mean, it isn't a big deal, but it's like you're doomed to feel your heart break in that way over and over again. And then obviously, if you harm somebody, you're doomed to feel that pain too, over and over again until you learn your lesson. That's just how it is. That is what hell is. It's just the 8 circles of hell. That's why they call the 8 circles of hell. And that's why infinity is 8. Because it's the 8 circles of hell that we're in. And if you literally, when bad shit goes down, if you literally, in all these experiences, still stay with the light, no matter what you do, you're always staying with the light and the light energy. You don't, when you get your soul review, you just experience all the good instead of the bad. But all of these bad acts that you get is in front of a soul review, and you can learn your lesson here in 3D, but some people don't. Some people absolutely do not learn that lesson. And it hurts. It hurts them. And it will hurt you in the end. Alright, we got act of love, yes or no. Alright. Alright, an ancestor here is telling me there is somebody out there where their lover was indecisive and there was like a marriage type thing or something like that. or an engagement that was off, and they couldn't get a yes or no answer, and they're devastated at this hour. They're crying. And your ancestors worried about you, and this is a mother. Your mother is worried about you. She's telling me at this time and that rejection is protection, and she wants you to stay away from this person because they cheated on you, and she does not want you to let the dark let this hurt take you down. That's what I'm being told at this hour. Anybody had a mother that passed on? And I know this sounds really crazy, but I've seen the dead since I was a child. To me, they're just the same as anything. And I guess when I started my divinity with my breakup, a lot of the time when I come up here and do my readings, a lot of times I get my information from the beloved dead. And generally I only deal with good spirits, y'all, good spirits. And so, between my parents and other good people I've met beyond the veil, because I'm an I'm an astral traveler. And and I could see I could see different timelines, past, present, and future. I could see all of that. And they helped me through my time. And for me, when I went through my dark night of the soul, guys, I mean, I went through it for a month, and I realized some of my family members, when they passed through, it was hard for them, especially my dad. It was hard for my dad to ascend because he was a soldier, and he couldn't alchemize in that process of the soul review all of the pain. He couldn't. And it was hard for him to ascend. And I didn't want him to be a stuck soul. I didn't. So when I ascended with my entire bloodline. With my entire bloodline. I took it for the team. And I tell you, my dark night of the soul was months, because I have a really, really huge, long line of military people. Proud, but the thing is they all had PTSD. They felt guilty because they had to kill people that they didn't ask to kill. And in their soul review, when God shows you everything, I didn't want them to feel alone, and I wanted to ascend with all of my bloodline, because I wanted my family's pretty much dead except for my kids and my two grandkids. So they're really the only blood relatives I got left. I come from a dragon lineage, so the only ones I got left are my two sons and my two grandsons. So I had to send for a lot of people, guys, a lot. And when you ascend, when you help the dead ascend, for their final ascension, so they can alchemize and move on to the next level, you see everything that they've seen. You see every betrayal that they've seen. You see every heartache they've seen. You see all the pain they've seen. And I've seen so much pain and so much heartache that my situation didn't even matter, because it wasn't even as bad as what they had to go through. I mean, they had to go through some horrible, horrible things, and it was hard for them to ascend from their soul review. But I asked God if I can help, and God told me that I could be the sacrificial lamb for all of them, and if I wanted to, they could all pass through me. And I told God I was okay with it. I was okay with everybody passing through me. And I'm telling you guys this because, I mean, who else I'm going to tell? I talk to dead people all day. This is what I do. I mean, one day they said that I need to get a boyfriend, but I'm going to wait till that time comes where that's an issue. But right now, that's not an issue because I'm okay being by myself. But because I have all my beloved dead ancestors with me that I helped do this. But I guess the story I'm telling you is that God does a soul review, and if you're not from, I mean, your family souls, most souls do make it through the soul review. And we always think of hell as the 8 circles of hell. The 8 circles of hell is what we're in. We are in the 8 circles of hell. This is not, the devil would like you to think that the 8 circles of hell are something that happen when you die. No. The 8 circles of hell is here on this plane that we're living. When you see someone being tortured, someone being hurt, someone whatever, or you hear about it on the news because you're in the 8 circles of hell. I fully believe this is the 8 circles of hell, and the only thing that helps you when you're living in the 8 circles of hell is faith and family. And if you stay with your faith and your family, and you want the common good for everybody, and you see the good in everybody, the 8 circles of hell they can't punish you. They can't. There's nothing, even if something bad happens to you, if you don't react and you react with grace, with God's grace, it can't touch you. And anybody, you can pray to help your ancestors. Anybody can do that. Anybody. I'm not special. I'm telling you, I am not special at all. I am just a seed of grass in the universe. I've seen so much dead. So much dead. So many dead spirits that, I mean, I know that I've seen a lot of things. I've seen the astral, I've seen things they've showed me in outer space, all kinds of stuff. I was grabbing some tea. But I've seen all this stuff. And I fully know that God's greatest light is in the black holes. I fully know this. That is why we will never get in a black hole. That is why the black holes surround us. Because we are in the 8 circles of Dante's hell. That is where we are at. And that is why it is so important to keep love in your heart. Because if you can keep love in your heart, living in the 8 circles of hell, who could take you down? Who can take you down? There isn't a weapon forged on the anointed, even in the 8 circles of hell, that could take you down. I mean, I can go on about different deities, this and that, but I'm telling you, I was shown we're in the 8 circles of hell. That's why when you see infinity numbers play things and double infinity, it's just another pinpoint of a circle of hell. But if you If you walk, like I always say in my head when I used to be scared of the 8 circles of hell when I was younger because I seen dead people. I thought I needed to go to the hospital when I was younger. I actually went to a psychiatrist for a little bit. I really did. I went to a psychiatrist for a second. I did for like years. And everything was so clairvoyant when I was a child. And they said that the doctors, they diagnosed you for a lot of stuff. They said I was depressed because of my grandpa's death, because it started with my grandpa's death when I was younger. Because I seen my grandpa. And I'm telling you the story because I don't know who else, at least it's documented. And if I pass, it's on public record somewhere for my family. But when my grandfather passed, it was before he passed because he had like a brain tumor. His brain was shrinking because he drank too much. And he was in the VA hospital. And anyways, I I seen my grandpa, but I seen him the non-drinking way. Like he would be if he wasn't consumed by the 8 circles of hell. I seen my grandpa in his grace. And we talked for hours. We talked for hours. And, and then I seen a big light. I was like 9 years old. It was so many years ago. Because I'm like 52 years old. But I seen a big light. And I asked my grandpa where he was going because he gave me some Hershey kisses and we talked for hours. And he apologized to me about everything he ever did to me when he was drinking. He apologized everything, and when I seen that side of him, I wasn't even angry at him. At first, I had to go to the side of AA for the families because I was 9 years old. I've been to AA, but when you go when you're 9, it's like Al-Anon or whatever. It's for the other side for the kids that deal with alcoholics. So I went to these meetings because it affected me. Because when he would be drinking, one time he pulled my dog's tail until my dog Tuffy was crying, and I got mad and I fought him, and then I had to put a lock on my door because it was like he was possessed by some crazy dark entity all the time. And I think my light, I think he had an entity attachment. Because when my parents would leave, my grandpa would just turn. He would just turn and get really nasty. And the alcohol would have him just turn to like he was a full demon. And it bothered me. So I went to Al Anon and learned all about how you shouldn't drink, being on the survivor side, being 9 years old, going to Al Anon. But I learned that sometimes you do get attachments from drinking and stuff. So I really never drank because of that. And then some people in my family got demon attachments because they they did drugs and they drank. So well, you got a whole family that was in AA, a whole family. But I think being at such a young age, being a victim of that, I never really picked it up. So, but I tell you, you can invite a darkness into you if you do too many substances. You won't realize it. How they affect you is your judgment. That's how entities do it. They get a part of your psyche and you can't see source. And everybody can see source. I'm not special, not at all. Maybe not everybody could see dead people, but they could see source if you didn't have that entity attachment. And all it does is, I like to think of the entities, because I've seen so many with my family. It's like, you know how when you have a phone charger on and it's dead and it's not giving your phone power and you got to go get another cord. That's what entity attachment is. It's that dead cord where you can't power up. It stops you from powering up and becoming your bigger self. And then you end up losing power little by little, and you die off and you die off and you get weaker and weaker because you're not able to get a power source. When I get weak or sad, I just call on God. And if I'm real tired, I'll pray, and then I'll wake up recharged and happy. It's because God charges your spirit every day. That's what the light does. And it's what you want every day. Because people know those people that are dark and they don't have any charge to them. That's how I think of the darkness. It's just charge it. I think of it as energy. I don't give it a form. And I will tell you guys, if you give, since we're living in the 8 circles of hell, if you give it ideas on what to do to scare you and you give it a form, that's a weapon that could be used against you. Like, you sit there and watch a horror movie, I laugh at them. I think they're funny because I already know they're an entity that probably got a damn good idea on how to scare somebody. It's like giving the dark ideas, but they already know you. They know you. I mean, if there's a dark entity around you, and let's say you're scared of, I don't know, clowns. We'll go with clowns. All right, you're afraid of clowns. You're gonna have nightmares of clowns over and over and over because the enemy's trying to drain you. And when they drain you and then you get scared, they want to disconnect you from source. In that hour that you're scared, pick up a Bible. Pick up a Bible if you want, or just start praying. And if you don't have a good prayer at that moment, just start talking out loud, saying, please, God, help me at my time of weakness. Start talking like you would talk on the phone, but speak to the divine. Because even though we're in the 8 circles of hell, you could still make a call out to God, and with divine law and spiritual law, you're allowed to call on God. Even though we're in the 8 circles of hell, we are allowed to call on God. That's why you can call judgment if you're pure of heart. It means you don't want to side with darkness. And why should you? Why should you side with darkness? Because where's darkness getting you? I mean, how really is darkness doing things for you? I mean, what did the devil do for you today? Except for, I don't know what they used to say, piss in your Cheerios or whatever. I mean, that's something the devil would do, pee in your Cheerios. That's what they would do. And they think it's funny because they would do the opposite of good. So don't fall under the illusionment that the darkness is good, because it is not. And you want to be the light. Be that light and let your light shine. And then your light, and people that do get attacked, is your light irritates their demons. That's why they don't like you. That's why all this shit with the third parties are going on. That's exactly why this is going on. Because your light irritates their demons. So instead of changing, they're going to find somebody that has similar demons as they do. And all demons are is negative energy that they gave a name to. That's what these deities are. They're they're a lot. I mean, it's a pretty dark energy that's gotten high up in the caliber to actually get a name, you know. And people said, "Oh yeah, that is a god." Blah blah blah. But are they really? I mean, they just accumulated other people's essences, and that darkness got a name. But they didn't get that power on their own. They did it through sacrifice. The light is unlimited. It's like a nuclear bomb energy. When that black hole, because I watch a lot of science guys, and black holes are the most powerful light in the universe, and inside the black hole is pure light. And that's the most powerful energy in the universe. So, would you follow the most powerful energy in the universe that recharges itself? Or follow something that needs to completely be recharged, that needs sacrifices to stay alive? I guess that's the question on the table. That is the elephant in the room. Well, what are we gonna feed? Are we just gonna give the light their flowers and say, yeah, you're right. I'm in the 8 circles of hell, and you're right. Come protect me. All these people are is just people that can't produce their own energy. And really, I believe all the dark people, all these dark deities that like disconnected and feel that's the better way, that's how they have to live, because they're disconnected from source, so they have no way to recharge themselves. None. I mean, if you really believe in God, I've been sick in the hospital on my deathbed, and I gave it to God. I told God, do what you do with me as you will. And I prayed to God, and in my last hour, Dr. Mystery came to my bedside with an experimental medicine. I told him I didn't have no money for that kind of treatment, and he said it didn't matter, that and I signed for the test study, and here I am talking to you. And I was completely had no money. But this is how that's how the gods of light, that's how the God of light works. If you are pure of heart and you call on God instead of even in the 8 circles of hell, and you still call on God and mean it, you get rewarded. God makes sure you're taken care of. God makes sure that everything you need is there. And you don't have complications in your life. You don't have drama, but sometimes you got to suffer with people that have lower vibrations. And those lower vibrations are there because darker entities need to feed. So they got things feeding on their energy. And what does things, if they really have no heart and they're disconnected from source, and I think it's the sacral chakra. So your heart chakra, your sacral. So if your heart chakra is closed and someone's feeding off you and giving you a bunch of malarkey, in the end when you're drained, do you really think that they're going to recharge you? Though they were using you. They were using you and harvesting you for their own purposes, I guess. This is where I'm getting at this. And don't let people harvest off you. Don't. I don't let anybody harvest off me. I would rather sit in the Ten of Swords and call on God before I let anybody harvest off me. I would. And pain just reminds you when you go through ascensions and such, and the pain sharpens you and gives you a better awareness of the world around you. And some, a lot of times, if somebody puts you through a lot of pain and you take it for the positive and heal, it brings you closer to source. So that person that dumped you, or that person that, I don't know, hurt you or gossiped about you to the point where you were crying and you had to go pray, just thank them. Say, thank you for bringing me closer to God, and walk away. Because that person showed the reason why you need to have faith. And that's it. And if you have a couple kids and you're living a good life, it doesn't matter. That time we're here, you're, before you got to this plane of existence, people, you chose this assignment when you were in heaven. You chose it. What do I want to learn? What do I want to learn? And you chose every heartache in this lifetime that you experienced. Every heartache. And the people that have the most extreme stuff happen to them is the people with the biggest assignment. The purest of heart are the most, are the ones that the demons are want to harvest on first. The brightest light is what they want to harvest from. The brightest light. And if you're a bright light out there, you're gonna be harvest on. If you are harvest on for a while, but you keep the faith, sometimes it's part of your lesson. But those people that harvest on you, whoever harvests is on your soul, once you connect back to source, they got to give all your energy back. They got to give it all back. Whatever they tooketh, they have to giveth. That is where karma comes. What you take, you got to give. And if they're stingy and won't give it back in one lifetime and it goes to another lifetime, then that's where you get 10 folds, 2 folds, 3 folds, whatever. It's a dark soul that never learned their lesson. That's it. That is it, collective. That's how this runs. I know I'm in a schmeal, but I just felt like being a small platform, this, to me, this is like a diary type thing. Because I already know I only have 50 more years on this earth. And this is one more recording for my family. It is one more recording for my family when I'm 90 and 100 years old to look back on. And another little bit of wisdom for my own family. And I consider you guys my family. I do. Even if you're watching me with dark attachments, I still consider you my family. Because one day you're going to want to give up those attachments and you're going to change. And my words are going to echo through you. And you're going to go, damn, she was right. And hopefully at that time you call on the light. However you want to call on the light. If you want to say God, if you want to do it through Catholic, Muslim, I don't care. Just call on the light. I mean, you don't have to do like I did, with all my relatives that had dark attachments that was having problems connecting to the light. Not everybody does that. But one day, you yourself are going to go through that. If you're listening to me with dark attachments. And if you're listening to me with the dark attachments on your soul, one day you're going to want to let those go. And right now you might think what I'm saying is a bunch of crazy. You might even give me a thumbs down so my words never come to you again. But one day they will. They'll come back to you. One day they're going to come back. And you're going to say, damn, I need a call on God. And you're just going to do it. And that's the whole point of this video. It is. So, I thought I should clarify all that. I cannot see a lot here without my glasses. I do not like I hate contacts, guys. I hate contacts. I hate anything going near my eyes. I do. I hate it. I hate when the optometrist goes towards my eyes. And I do every time I get my tarot card readings. They mention teeth, and I do have to go to the dentist. And I've been to the dentist, but I have to finish out some dental work. I'm on the tail end of finishing on my dental work. I'm going for a podiatry appointment and then going back to the dentist. So I do encourage all you guys to keep your vessel going, because I'm 52 years old and I keep it going, and I'm only down to basic doctors for small shit. I don't have anything major wrong with me. But if you want to keep well, I encourage healthy eating. Encourage healthy eating. Stay off all the drugs, please. All the drugs, stay off of. All of it. Because drugs, all they do is they hurt you. Honestly. They hurt you so you can't heal as well. And they hurt your cells where they can't regenerate well. So that really hurts your healing. You don't want that kind of damage. And I was talking, oh God, it was one of the nurses I was talking to, one of the smart ones, those nurse practitioners you see in the hospital, and I asked why we were getting people that were younger coming in with this dementia type thing going, and she said it was the substances they're on and the higher substances. Like, I know the main ones, but I'm not into the drug scene like that. I tried to stay away from drugs. I only take Tylenol, guys. I don't even, my kids, when they come over, my youngest Zach, that's in most of my videos, he'll say, Mom, I have a headache. You got Tylenol? And I'll go, or ibuprofen. And I tell him, I don't know. I don't even get headaches. And he looks at me like I'm strange because I don't get headaches. I don't know. I just don't get headaches. And he goes, Who doesn't get headaches, Mom? Who doesn't get headaches? I mean, I literally just ask God to heal me every day so I can get a good positive message out for you guys. That's all I ask. And I like to go to work because I feel I help people because I work in the healthcare field. So, and I don't really care about mundane things. I don't. So, I just go there because I just like to help out sick people. I know it sounds weird, but that's the reason I go there. I mean, yes, I get to pay my bills, but that's the main reason I go, is to help out the sick people. I feel there's so many people out there that need help and they're sick. And they sometimes don't have people to help them. And their families sometimes are there, sometimes they're not there, but we are always there. It's the healthcare workers that become their extended family in the last days. But I'm gonna let you guys go because I gotta put this hour video out. And I hope you enjoyed your message. And I don't know, I don't know what to label this. It's a little bit of everything. So if you listen to me, you get a little bit of everything. You really do. But I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed the universal wisdom of the day, because God granted me another day of life to give you universal wisdom. And I love you guys all of human mankind, because we are all meant to be together, not separate. Remember that. Even if you dislike somebody a lot, we all are meant to be together and not separate. That's it. And I guess that's the message for today. And I will let you guys go. So I gotta go to work tomorrow.